Should be able to hear and see the screen. Or hear and then see the screen. Good morning, good morning. It took me a minute to connect here. Hopefully y'all are well. Mr. Blue here, TradePhantoms.com. And gonna do about an hour, give or take, some pre-market prep. Futures, come on. I moved my office around a little bit, so everything is a little different. Yeah, I bought a yes and yes. I bought a new computer, but then I bought a whole new streaming computer. All right, it should be good here. This is still the old computer though. All right, let's dive in. Mr. Blue here, TradePhantoms.com. When do you decide to put your entry? Where would your stop normally be? Above or below demand or supply? If long, below demand. If short, above supply. You know, that's the simple answer, Jared, right? You know, where am I proven wrong? And it's like, okay, well, where are you proven wrong? Well, you know, above or below supply. To keep it, you know, short and sweet before I get into the charts. I apologize for this thing here. Right, but sometimes you said for a liquidity sweep. Yes, sir. So that would be if it's, you know, basically, you know how even when you go through essentials and Mr. Black talks about having putting a stop buffer. Sometimes, you know, I attack the level. I attack the level above or below demand supply to get an entry where people have their stop losses. So that would be kind of like what's called a liquidity sweep, right? So that would still be above or below demand or supply. Usually I'll do that on levels that are not that great, right? And so it's like, oh, what's going on, Dave? Good morning. And so the level's not that great. It hasn't been. It's been tested multiple times. And I'll enter on the break or above or below. My entry is above or below the demand and supply. You know. Daily swing, daily highs, daily lows. Yesterday, last week's high, last week's low. Sometimes that will come and just sweep for the day, for the week, if you will. Sometimes. Yeah, earthquake. This is like really bad. I moved my office, so it's like a different angle, which is kind of weird right now. So I apologize. I'll try to fix that. Okay, let's dive in. So Mr. Blue here. Today's date, November 26th, Tuesday. And I'm going to take you TradePhantoms.com, right? So I'm going to take you through about an hour through the kind of the pre-market prep of what we do here, backdrop, demand, supply, kind of what Jared and I were kind of just briefly talking about there. And from a top-down multiple time frame approach, right? So we have monthly, weekly, daily. Orange, yellow, blue would be the color code for that. Kind of a cheat sheet here, if you will, that I bring up every day for the team. Okay, we got candlesticks, bullish. We were just talking about this yesterday, right? Location being most important of these bullish candlesticks. Okay, bearish candlesticks, location being most important. And we have the liquidity map, all crooked today. But yeah, I reference that usually once or twice throughout the day. In terms of news, of course, we already know today, or this week, I should say, Thanksgiving, right? So it's a holiday, so markets are closed. However, we do have a couple of news hits today, Tuesday the 26th, right? So we have consumer confidence and FOMC meeting minutes. So they're talking about the past meeting. So we do have some things happening today, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you pin that for yourselves because that would be something that's coming out during kind of the morning rush, if you will. So just make sure that you have your trades buttoned up before that. Tomorrow being Wednesday, I'll be in the trade room with the folks. We have unemployment claims, core, PCE. So we have some stuff, right? And then we have a Thursday holiday, and then on Friday, light day. Markets open kind of half day kind of vibe, if you will. All right, I will be trading with the team as well during Friday. Probably be like a light little session. All right, we could probably train on some other things there. Let me go to futures. And I guess I'll start off with just really briefly, just because I have it drawn out, right? The S&P 500 yesterday made all-time highs. Okay, so I've been talking a lot about this, right? Even on YouTube, etc., where we have this new high here. Kind of boring to keep saying it, right? But here we go, right? So we have that new high that got put in on election, right? After election, this rally here, and we corrected, right? We corrected off of that, right? And I've been talking a lot about what was previous, all-time high supply, retested on the other side, okay? And just yesterday, we touched an all-time high. I've been screaming as the team that this is still an uptrend, bull market, etc. So here we go. The SPY just did it. All right, we pulled back down to this area here. We've been talking a lot about last week, right? How we have this inside bar here. We were using that Friday bar, which was November 15th, as a inside bar, and we closed. This bar did give us a positive COG here. Though these 2 days here was whipsaw up down, whipsaw up down, and then we've had Friday was a slow grind higher. Okay, and then yesterday we popped up, we gapped up, made it all-time high, and then we pulled back down. Okay, so doesn't surprise me one bit, right? Bull market, right? Corrected about 50% of the election move, right? Impulse correction move down, and then now we have a new higher high, right? So in terms of today's quote, I'm going to get to futures in a moment. All right, yesterday's high, yesterday's low. There's the low, there's the high, there's the all-time high, and SPY right up there. Okay, very small one, but it's still all-time high. It tagged it, right? We pulled back off of that. We filled the gap yesterday. Close here. Slight gap up, inside gap here today. Okay, so just map out your yesterday's high, yesterday's low, and we could be, could be range up here. But I wouldn't be surprised too going into the end of, I would say, the month of November with a holiday week. In addition to that, of course, if we kind of just float and just maybe gradually, of course, trade the tape, but gradually maybe just grind higher. Okay, or if we pull back, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a bit of a range up here coming up and down. So, I mean, we'll see regarding that, right? There's a couple other things that we're going to be looking at. Matter of fact, let me just load Xbox here for a moment. Put that over here to the side. Make sure I'm logged in. Log me in. Am I in? Nope, hold on. All right, here we go. Okay. So yeah, pre-market quote, slightly higher. And for the Qs, really quickly here, just before I move over into the futures charts with Thinkorswim, Qs did not make an all-time high, right? So Qs did not make an all-time high. Yesterday's low here. Slight gap up. So we're kind of still here in terms of Qs, right? I kind of drew this lower down in here, right, to kind of separate all the madness, right? So we're kind of like here, if you will. on QQQs, right? We didn't really make an all-time high, but we did pull back, of course, along with the S&Ps on the overall macro picture, right? And then we rallied back up, and we're kind of just mid of the the election, mid-range on the pullback still for the election, right? We have a new high here, we pull back, and we did not make a new high. So we're just kind of like parked right in here. So Qs could potentially still find some range in here, okay? Now I'll get to the futures because I will, of course, continue to talk about the Qs and the SPYs and SPX. So I have S&P futures daily time frame upper left, NASDAQ upper right, Dow Jones lower left, and the Russell 2000 bottom right. Put open or pin open the daily time frame on S&P futures. Okay, S&P futures did not make an all-time high. Okay, just yet. We have this again impulse. We have this correction, right? I'm not going to talk a lot about going all the way back here. Okay, so again, impulse, correction, and we're here right now, right? So if I zoom in, we're just fading higher, right? Green bar, green bar, green bar. We finally broke above this red bar here Friday, the 15th of November, right? And we've just been grinding higher, grinding higher, grinding higher, right? So lately, this week it's only Tuesday, very early, and it's a lower volume week, by the way, too. I noticed that in the SPX options. But we've been regarding last week, coming into this week, what we've been having is kind of flushes down on the S&P and NASDAQ, right? So we'd be like flushing down just a little bit, and then it'd get bought back up, right? Flushing down a little bit, and then get bought back up. But what I mean by flushing down is you get these like price movements, kind of almost sharp, really sharp down, really briefly, okay? And then it fades back up. So I'm not saying that's going to continue to happen again today. But just be aware of that, okay? So just be careful with when these markets open up and you see like these little flush down, red bar, red bar, red bar down. Be patient with those. I've been really patient with those on S&Ps. I've been trying to work on shorts on QQQs and NASDAQ, and then kind of waiting for my moment to get long S&P regarding SPX, SPY, and S&P futures, okay? And again, like I said, that doesn't mean that's going to happen again today, okay? But that has been the thesis off the back of last week, and so far, yesterday being Monday, also the case. NASDAQ futures here, okay, dropped down. We had that all-time high that got put in. We pulled back, and as you can see, this red bar here, just using it as a reference, where S&P futures are kind of up here, SPY all-time highs, poked it yesterday. You can see the futures are not quite there yet, okay? NASDAQ futures, I should say, are not quite there yet. All right, so still inside of there, green bar up. A lot of wick action here, right? Wick higher, wick lower, wick higher, wick lower. Okay, so again, just be careful with the flushes. Low volume week this week, as mentioned. So just be patient, wait for your levels. And, NASDAQ, as it stands, has been slightly weaker, okay, than some others. But however, this morning, that's not true. That's not the case. Because if I look at which one is the weakest, if I look at, say, the S&P upper here, upper left, NASI, Dow, lower left, Russell 2000, bottom right, the weakest one right now is Russell 2000. Interesting, right? So, Russell's very close to making an all-time high, though, I will say, however, I'm not sure if anybody took this trade here. Been focusing more on S&P futures. Have some weather over here where I'm at right now. Kind of crazy outside. Okay, everything's good. I'm gonna lose internet power. Really windy right now. Okay, so Russell's one of the weaker ones here. All right, I'm gonna switch over to the darker background here. We're gonna map out our Globex traps. So I got monthly here on the left, futures, monthly, weekly, daily on the right. Super important there. 60-minute upper left here, 30-minute bottom left, 5-minute here in the middle, 2-minute on the right, pop up in the 60-minute time frame here. And one of the first things we're going to do is map out our Globex high, Globex low. So represented by this blue line, we have the Globex high here, Globex low here. Okay. Here's prior trades that we took in the trade room. So let me just kind of clean this up here. All right, long futures, TP, great. Okay, so what is the setup? Well, if I kind of zone out a bit here, you can see, S&P all-time high futures here, a 1 hour time frame, up here, 60.53. So, why didn't, SPY made all-time high, but futures didn't? Futures, something called contango, which I don't want to explain right now. But the, futures all-time high is up here at 60.53, right? Had a couple levels pinned here. If you look in red in terms of supply over here, and we kind of dipped into some of them, right? We overshot a few, right? Overshot some points, which I'm not too surprised one bit, because I have just multiple levels on levels in here. There's only a few up here, right? All-time highs, and we pulled back. That was yesterday, okay, pre-market, okay. We gapped up yesterday, right? So we were already up at all-time highs for the most part in SPYs, and we dropped down, right? We dropped down yesterday. From exit distribution, exit liquidity, which I was talking about yesterday in the classes, right? But for today, if we break global XI, do I have supply up above to the left? We do, all right, but just be careful with these levels here. Of course, all-time highs. So I wouldn't be surprised if today, tomorrow being Wednesday as well, if we make an all-time high in the S&P futures, which would also bring SPY up. All right, and it'll be interesting to see if the QQQs and NASDAQ futures can make all-time high as well. So yeah, if you want to short this, you could, I guess. Again, there is a low volume week as well. So in the event that if we're already long, you want to be taking profit, as I would say, up here, which comes into 60/50s. But this would be also an area where you could potentially try to get short off this. Don't get me wrong, but you can have a stop loss, right? That was kind of what Jared was asking earlier as well. There could be a liquidity sweep up here, and they could just poke it higher, easy, 60, 75, give or take. And once you get above 60.53, you're in the abyss, if you will. There's no objective level of supply to look left to lean against. So you're just kind of picking a number and kind of praying, right? So just be careful with that up there. Globex trap long would be down in here. Do I have a level of demand below Globex low? We do here, right? So, I come up, I already have this kind of mapped out here, 55 handle to 59.55, which was once what supply here. Okay, you can see it tagged here, respected that. And then we finally broke, okay, we based, and then we broke a new high. So I could just change this color from pink to green, and on the right hand side here, this could be a Globex trap long, right? Right in here. And is that a level of demand? I mean, yes, it is, right? You can't argue with that. 59.55, and you have a an IBI, right? A drop, a basing, and a rally. Is this level developed overnight? Yes, it is. Okay, so during the overnight session. So just be cautious of that. All right, and then we were talking about this level 59.25. Worked out a couple times, great. All right, snapped here, went lower. So a lot of wicks down here, right? So even though we've been rallying up, okay, in short, long story short, even though we've been rallying back up, it's been kind of slow and grindy, right? Markets, S&P's already up 25 to 27%, 27% touched yesterday, up for the year. So, put that into perspective, right? That's already fairly high. Doesn't mean that we can't go higher, but, it's been a slow grind, right? Slow grind higher over the past couple of days after the correction that we had after the election, okay? So the point that I'm trying to make is that, even though it may look like you might not want to come down here, just remember, we've been flushing, right? As mentioned, right? We've been flushing down here, flushing down, flushing down, flush down, wick down, wick down. So just have that prepared, okay? 58.60, only prime one, 58.60. Yeah, I got 58.55. You got the 60 handle Montu. Yes, sir. I see it. And if I go down to the smaller time frame, I'm sure you can see it right in there. Even 59.60, it's decently primed. Yes, don't get me wrong. But is it the greatest level in the world? No. But however, I will say we're in a macro picture uptrend. right? Monthly, weekly, and daily, right? So that is going to get some bonus points there. And if meaning good for the bullish. And also, if I look at the 20 pin moving average on the daily time frame, that 59.55, 59.60, that 20 pin moving average, even though it might be hard to see right there with all the lines, but it's hovering right there as well, which is confluenced with that demand zone, in addition to everything that you, my friend, are saying, and what I'm saying as well. Okay, so yes, sir. All right, so yeah, in short, that's a decent little level to lean against here today, in the event that we come down here, right? Tomorrow too, as well, being Wednesday, right? Now, for you high-speed traders, and you have a VWAP right here. We've been, here's the Globex high, which we're kind of kissing in on right now. We could make a new high right now, and that would be the new Globex high. But what do we have here? We have a nice little couple of positive COGs that we can lean against too. That white line right here is VWAP 20, 50 EMA, okay? Blue and the darker blues is 50, light blue is the 20. That white dash line right there, if you can see that, if your eyes can make that out, that is the is VWAP, right? So we're trying right now to take this red bar out for a positive COG to the upside right now, right? So momentum right now in futures is fairly up, right? We're up, and we're trying to, we've already flushed out a little bit overnight, but base, trying to grind higher here, right? So yeah, and there's nothing, if I look up and left, there's nothing but wick left from yesterday's day. So, we could potentially grind higher, right? Now, could we come back down? I always have a saying, reference, I always account for a VWAP. So could we break down a bit lower and come into this, if I can draw this thing here, this demand zone right there? Absolutely, right? That comes in at, 6,000, all right? 6,000, 604, 605, okay? Damn, it is really windy outside. All right. So yeah, you can wait for that too. That wouldn't be a Globex trap, but that could be a nice little pullback. It is mid-range, so just be careful with it. Yeah, that's kind of like what you're looking at for the most part in S&P futures. Yeah, check your VWAP or it'll check you. Yes, sir. Always account for a VWAP test potentially. Excuse me. NASDAQ, I could do this fairly quicker. Very similar. Oh no, hurricane juice. No, sir. No. What's later? Thanksgiving Thursday. Globex high, Globex low. High here. We're on highs right now. Globex high for NASDAQ futures. Globex low here. Keep a long story short. Globex low is here. Do I have demand below Globex low? I mean, we do, but all wicky and nasty and kind of, look at these wick flushes. Flushes, flush, flush. So, what's the story for the past week or two? Flush downs, but grind up. Flush down, but grind up. Gross. Gross. So would you be surprised at all if this grossly flushes down, down in here? Picks up some kind of buyers, okay, with these, and kind of grinds back up. Well, you can't say no. You can't say no to that. All right, so because that's the way it's been. So things will change, of course. But so far this week, not much of a catalyst. And so that being said, I mean, this is the only levels that I can really lean against lower below the Globex low, which is right here. So everything below here, it's all wick and grossness, right? So I don't even know what to say here, really. Trying to find the words, but I don't have any. So, and trying to find the levels, but there ain't none. So, just be careful with these levels here, okay? There's prices down here. There's wicks and stuff, all right? Shit down here. But just be extremely careful, right? I would pin out the yesterday's low, which already kind of broke a little bit below that yet already overnight. There's the prior day low over here. All right, so we have some daily lows. So just be very careful with the NASDAQ if it flushes down. This has been the one that I've been shorting upon relative weakness and getting those moves down. However, this morning, NASDAQ futures are more one of the stronger ones coming into this morning, right? Now, anybody already long NASDAQ futures with these green bars here, positive COGs back above VWAP? All right, we got a nice little one being printed right now, right? If I look up and left, there's really nothing there to stop this price for the momentum higher. Before I move on, I'll just say, there you go, Fox, right? Could we pull back down into VWAP into this level right here, especially given the fact that we have low volume? For the most part, on this holiday week, we could pull back down. All right, I'll delete this. Well, I could just turn it green. This supply zone, it tagged right there, which is right, little supply right there. Tagged right here, good. All right, had a little correction off that. Pinsky, I remember that level from Dylan, one of our members. 20,911. So I'll just turn that green and put that to the right. Aggressive trap. Well, this is not a G trap, but this would be an aggressive demand zone. All right, just turn that green, right, over here on the other side. All right, and usually you don't cut through candles. You usually don't cut through candles, but I was gonna draw a line here, give or take, anyways, to reference this 20,900. So just already had a line there, just turn it green. All right, and carry it over to the right side. So VWAP right here. So be careful, don't chase NASDAQ too much. All right, because it can make you pay for it. All right, and then we got a 5-minute time frame here. So we're breaking out a little bit there, and there we go. 20, 200 VWAP, higher high, higher low. So far, grindy higher. When the market opens up, we might have some opening volatility. So if we pull back down, check your VWAP, or it will check you, right? As Joe mentioned here in the group. Okay. For Globex trap short on NASDAQ, that's one that I did not mention, right? But if we go higher up here, Globex trap short, where now we're up here. I already had the level 21,075 pinned for quite some time. Excuse me. I don't feel good this morning. I don't know why. Hope I'm not getting sick before holiday, but kind of annoying. I was selling it last night. 21,075. So that is a. We already tagged that right up in here in that supply. So if we go higher up, we have some supply up here, right? This is the daily, as we've been mentioning, right? With the little space drop that we have. So this is the all-time high in NASDAQ supply. So we could react off of that. There's a couple levels in here if you drill down as well. All right, so I got to, just pin the 21,000, call it 255, give or take. All right. So just know where you're at, right? All-time high here. So if this market's gonna continue to rally, I'd rather be long, right? And take profit, sell to exit up here, and then you can potentially pick off a Globex trap short coming up to this level. All right. All right, oil. Oil. Probably just gonna save some time on oil. Trying to wake up. I got monthly here, weekly here, daily here. It's trying to wake up, but gold is a lot better. Gold futures. So we got monthly, weekly, daily here. We were talking a lot about this weekly level 2541 right in here. I have kind of my levels, impulse correctional waves mapped out here. Now check this out. What's crazy about this is, well, not crazy, but ironic is we had a nice little positive COG close on the weekly, and then we're pulling back down into it. Okay. So I was mentioning, this is a recording in the past too, that I would not be surprised if we get a bit rangy here on the daily time frame, sifting out or absorbing this supply that got put in on the daily time frame as we came a bit lower 2 weeks ago, right? 2-3 weeks ago. So we had all-time highs here, and we pulled back deeper, right? We pulled back deeper, so that deeper pullback just left kind of some dust in its trail, if you will, with the base drop right here, base drop right here. Okay, on the daily time frame, came down in the weekly, and we rallied back up, and we're absorbing that right now, right? So even when last week and the week before that, give or take, when I was mentioning how we came down red bar, positive COG closed last Monday, the 18th, and then we continued to rally up. I did not really want to take any supply zones in the middle of this area right here. Right. Reason being is because we have the monthly, weekly still higher up. So I was mentioning that if we might want to, grind higher and come deeper up into the daily supply up in here. Right. So that being said, if I drop down into the 60-minute time frame, you could see this, kind of line that I kind of drew here, just just for a simple kind of trend, if you will, right here, that we were grinding higher, grinding higher, okay, off of the weekly 2541 handle, but we came higher up into what up here? Daily supply. Okay, so we had some aggressive shorts here, took a pin 2675, dropped down, broke it, okay, came up to 2700, a little bit above that, correction, came up 2720, deeper up in here, okay, then we pull back deeper, okay, so this deeper pullback right here on the downside now shouldn't really surprise much people if you understand your higher time frame hierarchy of monthly, weekly, daily, because there is some daily supply that we need to absorb out of here, potentially to go higher, right? So this pullback here, coming down from the 2720s, had a nice little, 1-2 day push down. Actually happened in a day. Okay, today will be the second day of that. We do have rollover as well happening in gold. All right, GC front month now is GCG 2025. So just make a note of that as well, going into especially Thanksgiving. Low volume, Globex high, Globex low. If we map that out, the high being here, low being here. Fuck. Excuse me. Globex trap below here. We have some demand below here. Okay, not bad. These levels were already mapped out. Good job, Montu. These levels were already mapped out, for, trying to pull back here, it just was grinding higher, barely pulled back, right? So if we did happen to get below the Globex low today, which is that blue line here, 2615 handle, and we get down to the 2600 and the 26, call it 89, 90-ish, there's gonna be some Globex traps, and that would be decent. And that wouldn't be a bad pickoff for something here, all right? That would be decently qualified. All right, not bad there. Globex trap short, above Globex high. Do we have supply up here? I mean, you can't say no. We do have some. Now this up here is a test already to the upper left, right? So this is the second test. So, just know where you are on the bigger picture. Still monthly, weekly, up, okay? A nice little positive COG close on the weekly last week. We already pulled back pretty significantly just in one day yesterday. So I would pin this bar, this massive red bar here, right? Because what we have here, it's pretty interesting. Small little teaching moment. We have a weekly positive COG. You see that green bar that got put in last week? Because this bar is the current week right now, but this is only Tuesday, right? This is the current week right now. Monthly on the left, weekly in the middle, daily on the right. So we have a positive COG close off the weekly demand coming off of the 2540 and off the Horizon 20 pair moving average on the weekly. But we have a negative COG. You see that red bar right here on the daily. So you'd ask yourself, okay, well, which one do I listen to or put more emphasis on, right? And I would say the weekly, right? And the macro picture uptrend still, right? Because if you still have monthly up, weekly, yes, we, dropped a little bit below this pivot right here. We came deeper into that weekly, right? Positive COG out of here. So, we're inside week right now. It's only Tuesday, as mentioned, but now we have battling forces between the weekly positive COG, but we had a massive daily negative COG right here yesterday, right? We do have a slight gap higher. I will say we closed here yesterday, and we have a slight gap higher. That is off the back too of the gold rollover. So that typically happens, not always, but sometimes that happens a lot when you have the futures market rolling over. Okay, is it significant? Pretty decent. All right, they came down, so that could be the pullback in the event that we do break higher. So I would anchor and put which you should already be doing because it's yesterday's high, yesterday's low. But make sure you put a level on top of yesterday's high. All right, up here futures gold 2720 handle. All right, and then the low being the 2620 handle of a 100-point range here on this. And you want to see how this bar gets absorbed, right? Could be Globex trap long down here as mentioned, right? So if this market's taken out, this level, the daily supply starts to get absorbed, we could potentially get in higher or go higher up here with that positive COG print on the weekly. All right, as always, we could come down lower range and maybe even test that weekly level down here. Wouldn't be surprised when bit, as mentioned, even in previous recordings and sessions, talking about how we could see a little bit of a range here as the buyers and sellers kind of go at it for gold's next bigger move, okay, if we're going to get it. All right, I'm hoping that makes sense. Moving on, VIX. What are we printing here, VIX? This is so crooked, it's annoying me on the screen here, what you see, but I'm not going to touch it, because if I touch it, it'll be another earthquake, as Eric A was saying there. Yesterday's high, yesterday's low. Excuse me. Dev caught something. Because I've been eating like crap lately. VIX down sub 1%. Nothing too crazy there. Map out the overnight high, overnight low. Boing. Boing. Small time frame here. And inverse correlation, right? So if VIX higher, market down. If VIX is just kind of hanging out, chilling in the middle, okay, chilling in the middle. And then if VIX goes lower, yeah, eat more Dunkin'. I was eating Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's last week. Caught the mixed sickness. Gross. I was just eating like shit last week. The weekend I cleaned it up a little bit, but now felt it last night a little bit. I'll be all right. So inverse correlation, right? Super important there. SPY. Pre-market quote right there. Spoke a little bit about this already, so moving on. All right. Gap higher, inside gap, close here, slight gap higher here. All right. So, inside gap, not the greatest. Need some more McD's. Go harder. More size. Add to winners. Add to winners. Yesterday's close here. Slight gap up here. Pingsky. Inside gap. Be careful with NASDAQ. It's in the middle of the middle. So, we have, right, we already talked a bit about that, right? Impulse correction, right? We have trying to move here. And now we're in kind of the middle of the last impulse correctional wave. And then we're in the middle of yesterday's bar. So NASDAQ is in the middle of the middle. So just be careful, all right? IWM. I think IWM did just briefly kiss an all-time high, looks like. Okay. Congratulations, IWM. Join the party. The gap, however, yesterday, a bit of a topping tail here. Still green a little bit. We actually were talking about these kind of candles yesterday evening. And then, pre-market quote is about right here. So just be careful. That's a little slightly outside gap there. Slight outside gap. Remember in futures, this is the weaker one too as well. So there's a gap from yesterday, right? Closed here on Friday, opened up here on, of course, Monday. There's an unfilled gap here. So in the event that Russell does break down lower, I'd reference this gap fill, which is an unfilled gap right now. So you make a note of that real quick. All right, unfilled gap that could be potentially filled today if this were to continue to grind lower. All right, out of all of the other indexes, say SPYs, Qs, Russell, and Diamonds, this is the only one that has, a gap down, other than Diamond, Dow Jones. But this one, if it stands like this, so far this would be a slightly outside gap just below yesterday's low. Yeah, kind of slow, grindy, Terry. Definitely holiday vibes. There's gold. I talked a little bit about gold. There's your reference point here too, on that level. Would not be surprised if we come back down here. All right, gold's gonna be pretty interesting. We're in, after this major impulse, big correction here. Now in the middle of that, we'll see Apple. Apple finally broke out a little bit yesterday. Finally, it's been acting up. Actually, been taking a couple of small losses on Apple. A couple small wins, a couple small losses. Square, fair game. But we grinded a little higher finally and broke out yesterday on this. Just looking at the higher time frames. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Apple pops new all-time high. Been taking a couple of losses on it intraday, give or take here and there. A couple wins, small gains here and there on these little inside days. But I mean, we'll see. It might not be bad for a little bit of a swing in the event that you might see some Apple pinning all-time highs. Amazon, side cap higher, inside bar. Google, interesting spot. One of the stronger ones yesterday. Tesla, VGO, inside bar. MSTR, good down day to potentially sell some puts. I sold some puts last Friday, by the way. All right, those might be taking a little bit of heat right now. No big deal. Meta. So just be careful with FANG, folks. FANG, the big stocks there. NVIDIA, I'm taking a loss on this. Yep, we got some news today, Mark. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Don't forget what Mark is saying there. We do have 10 a.m. Okay. Consumer sentiment. So let me just get a quick look at the internals really briefly. Be patient off the open, especially today. I mean, always be patient. But hello. Where's this? Kind of holiday vibes all on the charts. Advanced declines, negative 700. Extreme would be plus or minus 2,000, give or take. So not super extreme, but down. Vol D first print, slightly down. Extreme, not quite. Positive -3 would be extreme. VIX still kind of hanging down. Too early for cumulative tick right now. And we'll see how VIX, I'll leave that pinned, how VIX unravels for today. All right. Already coming off lower. All right, so I mean, Apple was one of the stronger ones coming out the gate yesterday. So far, right out today's gate, trying to put a nice little bar print in right now. AVGO has been basing inside bar over here for a little while now. Last week's high and low sold range. So let me see. Visa. Visa trying to base break here. Slight gap up out of a 2-week kind of hiatus range. Decent there. Amazon. Nice little pro gap yesterday. Might have some continuation. Amazon long call. It'd be better if it cleared this bar here on the daily. Amazon's decent here. It'd be better if it was clearing this red bar here already. So it could pull back a little bit. Let me see if Microsoft is. Now Microsoft is clearing its red bar here. Decent. But Microsoft overall has been very rangy, but it's trying to break out here. So there is some play. There's some play here. So yeah, Microsoft, Amazon. We'll do Microsoft because it cleared its red bar on the daily. Now the monthly and the weekly, and I should say, well, just the weekly, and I could say the daily too, has been very rangy and very small. It's getting pinched, right? So just put that into perspective, all right? But we can lean against this opening print here. Let's see, not the greatest level here. You might want to size in not so heavy right now. But Microsoft long call, November 29th, expiration. What does that look like here? We can take a shot at this potentially. Make sure it's still good. A little bit of a VWAP test right now on it so far. Yeah, it's pinched, man. That's the challenge with Microsoft right now. All right, I'll do small size here. I'll pick up the 422 half. Microsoft. Amazon looking good too. $422 half. Oops. Now separate my accounts. All right, got a 2, or they give me 205 fill. Microsoft 422. Strike call, long call. Let me see Amazon. Let me see Amazon. Amazon did clear its daily a bit there. Qualcomm. Message retracted. You can delete messages. Cool. Qualcomm. Qualcomm swiped one of the Phantoms. A couple of Phantoms caught this big move down. I was focusing on Qs. They caught that. Good job. Then since then it's been range, low range. Slight gap higher up here. It's just still Qualcomm's kind of in this monthly range here. Let's see. Amazon still looking decent here. So Apple. I mean, Qs, they do have this opening print 5-minute wide range bar here. AMD. Yeah, I'm taking a loss on AMD, about 50 cents or 90 cents. It's down, but it's just stock. It's just stock. It's just not doing much. It's like, it's just stuck here. It's like daily's down, but monthly's, getting pinched. I'm missing Amazon here. Long call Amazon. Q's had a nice little 5-minute bar print too as well, in addition to what I'm mentioning here as well. Let me grab Amazon here real quick. All right, Amazon, the 207.5 call, got it for 111. Long call Amazon. Microsoft, anybody, is up about 25, 30 cents there, give or take. Let me see, AVGO. You can see Apple trying to go and do something there. Apple trying to put in a stance here. Apple trying to put in a stance there. If you wanted to try to snag some Qs, it would be potentially the time right now and a little bit of a VWAP test. The battle right now is going to be are we going to fill the gap? All right, this would be a nice little area to get pullback long on the Qs potentially. Internals are a little lower though, so just you got to be careful with that. All right, or you can wait, okay, because we are long. Well, I'm long personally the two trades, Amazon and Microsoft, so that's kind of already long Nasdaq, if you know what I mean, right? So you can be a little bit patient on that. All right, internals are not that super great to the bulls. They're not super bearish either. AMD has a little downward pressure. So IWM is more the weaker one, right? And that still holds true. Right? So in the event that you want to short, as the internals are not that great, IWM would be the one to do so right now. And even if you did like today's expiration or even tomorrow's expiration to kick out some theta, you can pick up the 240 strike for about 123. IWM short, not bad here. And I just got filled at 124 for the 240 strike put bearish IWM. Small caps. Fuck, man. All right, Amazon new high. Let's TP some. Take profit, some Amazon. Not a lot here right now. Very early, right? But we can scale out some, TP some. We get news as Mark was mentioning, right? right click, create closing order, sell market, got 124. TP Timmy 1, boom, boom. Let's see. Microsoft, new high. Let's TP some here. All right, 205 to 260 here. TP some on Microsoft, take profit. No, not before Thanksgiving. Fuck. 284. Gave me some there. Nice little pump on Microsoft there. All right, not bad. Just pumped a new high right now if we want to TP a little some more. Tesla. Netflix is a beast. Pulled back yesterday. Anybody get long queues? Anybody got long queues? Just made a quick little new high there. All right, good job. VWAP test. All right, I would open up a new position with y'all, but this is my time so far. I wanted to go to Twitch to stream Gexpot, but I kind of feel like crap. And I usually don't care how I fail, and I would still go for it. But let me see if I can go take some magic potion or do drugs and see how I feel. So yeah, I'll see how I feel, but maybe just take some drugs. But also, I'm thinking about the opportunity cost. Is it going to be worth it as well? Apple trying to put it in the base. Yes, sir, Jason Rodriguez. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Post in the chat. I was in the chat last night, regretfully so. Talking shit to some members. Yeah, just watch out for news, folks. You know, Microsoft new high here. Let me TP some here. The McRib. Oh man, man, I'm done with McDonald's for weeks. Let me see. Microsoft TP some Microsoft. Take profit. All right, smooth, you know, buck here, 90 cents, 95 cents, give or take, once this fills here. All right, and yeah, I got a buck for it, right? 205 to 305. I'm going for 320 right now. If you want to TP some more, Microsoft, nice little push. Let me get a little bit more here. All right, but I'm gonna jump out. I'll let you know if I'm gonna Twitch stream later. TPing some more Microsoft here. $310. Another new high. All right, Q's if you snagged it. Another new high. Remember, we have news, as Mark was mentioning, right? You know, Amazon new high, so Apple new high if you grab that too. All right, so going into you know, profit taking campaign here. You can see IWM still trying to work out its bearishness. Yeah, so make sure you take a profit. Let me take some on the you know, Microsoft going for 325 there from $2 on the call there. Call there, cabs there. Let me TP some more of Amazon. TP some. Yeah, I need drugs. I need drugs today. Calm down, boys and girls. Like ibuprofen, all right? Ibuprofen. 212. 112, 112. Isn't that a peaches and cream? 112. Peaches and cream. You get another ring. Get freaky in my limousine. Peaches and cream. Getting freaky in my limousine. You don't want to hear me sing. And everybody leaves the room. All viewers left the chat. 112. That's right. That's right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Microsoft new high TP. Peaches and cream. You need it because you know that I'm a string. Woo. TP's in Microsoft. Peaches and damn, that happened fast. I looked left and what the boop. They were going for 330, but I only got filled at 305. How whack is that? Super whack. But I'll take the peaches and cream. That was whack. Yo. Apple could have made a little something there. Tesla, thank you, Friday. Hats off to Tesla on Friday. It was a real one. AMD following through down. Whoever shot this out. Okay. IWM, just doing IWM things, just hanging out, like, just chilling. It's like, hey. All right, pull your VWAPs. Know where you are on the bigger picture. Where's that Bitcoin? I was talking shit in the chat yesterday. Let's see, MSTR. Yeah, it's good to go. It's good to go. It's good to go. I might even do, if I stream on Twitch later, that's what I'm streaming from. So, it just sucks right now. I don't want to be a BITCH, but I don't know, man. I don't feel 100% right now. It's weird. Microsoft on that. NVIDIA taking a loss on the earnings. They got smacked up. All right, news in 5 minutes, folks. AMD, bit of relative weakness, sitting at this weekly demand zone though. So, all right, we have news in 5 minutes, so make sure you take profit. No, I'm not hungover. I actually wish I was hungover. I'm not hungover. I wasn't drinking last night. I'm not gonna be probably have some. I'll be probably boozing for Thanksgiving. I wish I was hungover because if I was hungover, I trade awesome when I'm hungover. I wish I was hungover. I don't know what I got right now. It's like developing right now. I can feel it. It's the same thing. I think Mr. Green got me sick, man. We were on a meeting yesterday. You could just about every minute that went by, he was getting worse. So I kind of felt like him yesterday, but we're in a different state. But no, I wish I was hungover, dude. I'd be like flying right now. Believe me, I'd be flying. So let me see. Let me go do some drugs, man. Ibuprofen. Grab some water. I don't know. See what the lady can get me some matcha or whatever the fuck they do these days. See how I feel a little bit later. But also, it's kind of weak today. Not like bearish, but low volume. So I don't even know if it's worth it. Just might be rest up. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll stay close to the chat. All right, folks. But we have news in a couple of minutes, right? If this is floating your boat, I mean, we got a couple trades here, right? Microsoft, Apple, Qs. All right, I didn't pull the trigger on Qs, so just be careful with that. All right, IWM short. All right, trying to work on that weakness there. Took profit on Microsoft multiple times there. All right, Amazon as well. All right, just protect your profits. All right, Qs, make sure you're tightening up. And then drugs are bad. Okay, ibuprofen is bad. Okay, Advil is bad. Okay, okay, okay. But yeah, to be honest with you, if we're not going to Twitch today, and if I just use today to rest up, tomorrow being Wednesday, I can come back strong. I mean, I don't think it's like, I'm not getting flu vibes. I just got like, I don't know, I'm just not like head cold man right now. So, but it's all good. Nothing too crazy. But stay close to the chat. If this is floating your boat, cool. You can go to if you're not a member of Phantoms, TradePhantoms.com. Click register. All right, put your name, email there, and then you'll get sent a registration link, if you will, for Friday. Usually these are hosted on Thursday, but Friday, because Thursday's Thanksgiving. You'll be surprised how many people asking about. Are we still having class on Thursday, Thanksgiving? That's what kind of got me in chat yesterday, like just pissed off. Like, are you fucking kidding me? No, it's Thanksgiving. Go eat some turkey. Watch football. All right. All right, go drink some booze and do drugs, right? It's that time. So November 29th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you'll get, 90-minute class hosted by Mr. Black, Mr. Green. All right, there's the agenda there, how markets work. We're all professionals here, up, down, sideways, multi-direction, trading for income, small, short-term, all the way to wealth management, long-term investment, right? And not just about stocks, futures, forex, options, everything. Kind of one-stop shop. So that's the place to go. You got some phantoms in here, all right? And you can talk to them and ask them how they like it or how much they hate it, all right? Love and hate, all good. Water off my back. I'm just here to try to help train and trade. Microsoft new high. Make sure you TP. I'm out. Mr. Blue out. God bless. Take care. Stay close to the chat. I'll see if we Twitch later. If not, I'm coming back strong. tomorrow. Hopefully, assuming this is all good, and we'll take it from there, folks. Okay, we still have class later tonight too, as well. So can't forget that from my Phantoms as well. God bless. Take care. Blue out. Trade safe.